been MIA. First and foremost, I want to shout out to all the parents that are working with the kids from home 24, full time. It's not easy, but we're gonna make it through. That kind of brings me to what I wanted to share today. And this share today is more personal. I feel like I'm utilizing the camera, but I'm really talking to myself. And maybe it'll resonate with someone, maybe it'll help someone else, or maybe someone, again, always advice welcome. Maybe someone can give me some pointers or some tips on how to get through this little storm of mine, if you will. So this one's more personal. A lot of them are personal, but this one, I feel like this is more so talking out loud to myself. So I just wanted to share about, just to rewind a little, prior to my journey. Long story short, I always put me last. Everyone else and everything else was always priority over Angela. And it was second nature for me. Someone picks up, I go. Someone texts, I tend to that right away. Always putting me last. Parenting, how dare I do something nice for myself? I have to do something for my kids at all times. I don't know how I got into those modes. I don't know, but it could be a stuck point from childhood when I always wanted that validation from others. So I feel like as long as I'm pleasing to others, then I'm doing my good deeds and I'm going to get the rewards and the validation that subconsciously I'm seeking. Maybe even not subconsciously, maybe, actively seeking those validations. So putting me last, common for me. And so getting on my journey, it forced me to put me first. I would do my devotion time. And I've shared with you guys what that consists of, as far as journaling, meditating, praying, talking to God, things like that, right? And so the kids even know now it's become a norm in our house. Though it started off I was a little uncomfortable at first because I'm just like, dang, I'm not tending to the kids during this time. But then it became a norm and the kids have grown to accept it. And they know when mommy's doing her devotion time, they are quiet and they do not come into my room at all. And so that's where things are. I go into my room and that's my time, whether it takes 30 minutes to get through my time or an hour and a half. Whatever it is, I don't feel rushed and it's for me. That transfer of doing for self compared to others, it brought me so much peace and happiness and joy. And I wanted to always feel those ways. And I find myself these days, I'm regressing, if you will, back into those old habits. I'm tending to everything and everyone but me because I feel like I have too much on my plate and I get that anxiety kicks in, right? And now I feel overwhelmed, like it's just too much to do in a 24-hour period. These 24 hours really aren't 24 hours if I still need to sleep. And so it's just easier to just put me on the back burner. It's just easier to say, okay, Angela, you don't really have time to spare to do your devotion today, so you'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. Or I find myself half doing the devotion. Like, okay, I'll pray, but I won't meditate. It's like cutting corners and slacking on myself so that I can tend to everything and everyone else. Second nature. And so I'm struggling right now because I found myself lately going back into that unhappy place, that sad place, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious. I'm sorry, my kids. Feeling anxious, just overall dissatisfied with myself emotionally and mentally. And it only takes but one little trigger And then now my mind and my thoughts are ruminating about all the negatives. And now I'm back in this hole where I just feel like I'm not worth this. I'm not worth giving myself this time. Oh, I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. And then I find myself back in a hole where I'm not figuring it out. And I'm just in bed. I see the signs. And so that's why I wanted to come and share today in hopes that, again, me talking out loud to myself addresses and acknowledges this issue is beginning to happen, so that I'm aware, out loud aware, and can make the change. I don't know how. I can be honest. I'm trying to find balance in it all. So I said over the weekend, I didn't get to it over the weekend because, again, I'm lacking the balance, right? But I said this week or today, what I'll do is make a list of priorities: kids, devotion, workout, all of these things that I need to do in my 24-hour day. I'm going to make a list of what's priority from one to the finish. And then maybe that'll give me a glimpse into what I should be doing in order. Maybe that'll bring some balance to my life. And maybe this helps someone else, because it's easy to have 1,000,001 tasks to tend to. And you feel like you're running with like a chicken with your head cut off, and you're getting nothing done at the same time. Personally, that's how I felt. I felt like I've had so much to do, and it's all up here. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do it. It's too much. And so I just do the parenting. That's it. It's a battle for me. And I got into a really good groove. But now with school for them, school for me, those extra responsibilities added on to everything else that I was already juggling, I just feel overwhelmed, and I just feel like it's all impossible. And so I get down on myself. And then it goes back to me feeling like, okay, I just put myself last. You can do it later, Angela. That workout isn't important. You'll be okay. Just don't go crazy with eating. I start giving myself passes. You can pray. Don't worry about meditating. You don't have that kind of time. So then little by little, as I'm taking pieces of me away, eventually everything will stop. That's for me. And I'll go back into tending and focusing on everything and everyone else and find myself back in that unhappy place. So hopefully with the acknowledgement and addressing of this today, hopefully that helps to fix it. Hopefully that motivates me to make a change today. Make that list, Angela. Put down those priorities, 1 through 10. Make a schedule of how you're gonna align your day with those priorities. And also be honest with yourself. Things that are priorities, that are really not priorities, should not be on that list. We prioritize things that we want, right? And sometimes what we want to prioritize isn't really a priority. Me going to hang out with my friends for drinks is not a priority. It's really not. But to me, I can make it one, So it's just what really benefits my future, what really benefits my mental and emotional health right now. Those are the priorities. Whether that be making sure I work out, whether that be making sure I get my time with God, making sure that I get the proper amount of rest. Those things are priority for me. Those things really do help me mentally and emotionally. And so staying on top of the things that really are priority matters as well. So being honest with myself. So again, talking out loud, make that list. Put those things in priority, make that schedule so that you can pull it back in. And again, make time for yourself. Don't rush God. He's the only ruler of time. Don't rush God. take it one step, one day at a time, you'll get there. You'll get there. Don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel anxious. If I'm feeling any of those ways, that shows that I'm lacking trust and faith in God, because he got it. And I'm trying to control it all, which I'm still working on. So talking out loud to myself, and maybe this will help someone else that feels, kind of boggled down, because life has a way of doing that. Thank you for listening. And as always, I'm grateful to share. And I'll speak with you all soon. Have a good day. Bye.